You've probably met someone who'd rather set their own house on fire than admit they messed up. And here's the twisted part. Their refusal to apologize isn't weakness. It's a calculated survival mechanism their brain has been perfecting since childhood. What I'm about to show you will completely change how you see these people, and maybe even yourself. The fortress of false confidence. Picture this. Someone rear-ends your car, steps out, looks at the damage, and their first words are, "Well, if you hadn't been driving so slow." Sound familiar? Here's what's actually happening inside their head. Their brain is running a protection program that's been decades in the making. For these individuals, admitting fault isn't just uncomfortable, it feels like psychological death. Their entire sense of self is built on being right, being in control, being untouchable. And an apology? That's a wrecking ball aimed directly at their carefully constructed identity, the childhood blueprint. Most of us learned that saying sorry is how you repair relationships, but some people learned the exact opposite. Maybe they grew up in a home where admitting mistakes meant severe punishment, or where their parents never modeled accountability, so their developing brain made a simple calculation. Vulnerability equals danger. Protection equals survival. Fast forward to adulthood, and that scared kid is still running the show, just wearing grown-up clothes. The Narcissistic Shield. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, narcissism. Not everyone who refuses to apologize is a full-blown narcissist, but there's definitely overlap. For someone with narcissistic tendencies, their self-image is everything. It's not just important, it's their oxygen. When they mess up, their brain doesn't process it like yours or mine. Instead of thinking, "I made a mistake," they think, "If I admit this, people will see I'm not perfect, and if I'm not perfect, I'm worthless." So they deflect, they blame, they gaslight, anything to avoid that crushing moment of imperfection. The power dynamic. Here's where it gets really dark. Some people weaponize their refusal to apologize. They've discovered that never backing down gives them control. When you're the one always extending the olive branch, always being the bigger person, always accommodating their inability to own their actions, they win. It's a twisted form of power that says, "I don't need to play by the rules of common decency because I can count on you to keep the relationship going anyway." And the most heartbreaking part? It usually works. The shame spiral. Ironically, many people who can't apologize are drowning in shame. Not the healthy kind that motivates growth, but toxic shame that tells them they're fundamentally defective. Admitting one mistake feels like confirming their worst fear about themselves, that they're bad at their core. So they build walls, they deny, they justify, because if they let one brick of accountability fall, the whole structure of their denial might collapse, and they'd have to face what they've been running from their entire lives. The relationship graveyard. Look at their past and you'll see a pattern. Friendships that faded, romantic relationships that imploded, family members who keep their distance. Each one a casualty of their inability to do something that takes 5 seconds. Say, "I'm sorry." But here's what they don't realize, or refuse to accept. Every relationship they lose is proof that their strategy isn't working. The very thing they think protects them is destroying the connections that could actually save them. The wake-up call. If you recognize yourself in any of this, there's still hope. Real strength isn't never falling down. It's getting back up and owning it. The people you admire most, the leaders you respect, the friends you treasure, they all share one superpower. They can apologize without their ego shattering into a million pieces. Your relationships are waiting on the other side of 2 simple words. The question is, are you brave enough to say them?